So we're going to be watching our first game here is Vermillion versus Jacobis. Alright, so spawning in the 6:30 or 6:15 position, we have our pink Protoss, who is a regular here at the Tuesdaily. Vermillion going up against Jacobis, who I have not seen yet, which is his teal Terran opponent. So we've got some pretty cute little Easter colors. Maybe we'll find a few like Easter bunnies hopping around. We'll see.
We absolutely will see.
And if you are joining us for the first time, I am Pyronia, and with me is my co-caster Phegan. We are with rhgaming.com. And if you normally watch the Tuesdailies, I just wanted to let you guys know that we're trying to get some more casts going up and running for you guys. So
by popular demand.
Yes, by popular demand. So I will be transitioning over to Thursday nights, and Phegan will be taking over as the primary caster on Tuesday nights, and I'll probably be popping in to help him out.
That is correct.
So you can find more information about that at Zeke TV or Zeke.com. They'll probably have updates. Or you can follow either of us on Twitter. I am Pyronia, and he is Phegan, and we'll keep you guys posted on what we're doing there.
That is Phegan on Twitter. So, for those of you who don't spell phonetically.
Yes,
who
don't
do
spell
spell
it.
phonetically.
It's like a phone.
So yeah, I love watching Vermillion play because he always does these ridiculous Void Ray and carrier plays.
Yeah.
So
well,
he's
really been trying to perfect his carrier play.
Well, I can't say that I blame him. I mean, they are going to be an integral unit in Heart of the... Oh, wait.
Hey, I'm sure there's going to be lots of customs where everyone's going to be playing carrier because it's no longer in normal games.
Okay,
We
fair
can't
enough.
deny that customs are an integral part of Starcraft. I mean, if you look at like League of Legends, Han, everything like that, I mean, it all started from a custom Warcraft 3 map.
Oh, I thought...
before that, we had Brood War.
I thought you were being sarcastic about customs being legitimate. I was like, yeah, I mean, of course you have to practice for your customs.
From a standpoint, maybe not, but realistically, from a history of computer competitive gaming, they do have a role. I myself have been playing turret defense for, a good many years, and I must say I enjoy turret defenses.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not a huge fan of the Mafia-type games.
No, I'm not a fan of those. I did play a good amount of Dota back in the day, and I play a fair amount of League of Legends now, but unfortunately I am terrible at League of Legends, so... I guess we should see what is going on. Pretty standard build for both players. We do have a command center coming down for Jacobis. And just Warp Gate tech started for Vermillion.
Yeah, and Vermillion did take his second gas quite early, so I'm guessing that we are going to be seeing some sort of tech build from him, which is fairly typical.
Well, they are in close air positions, so this is almost perfect for any sort of Void Ray play. He can drop a starport over in the far edge of his base, good chance it won't get scanned, and then he can come over with the Void Ray, and since Jacobis has expanded, he's going to have the majority of his units, if he's not expecting any sort of airplay, towards the front of his base.
Yeah, and he can really punish this positioning from Jacobis, unfortunately.
Twilight Council. So we're not going to see Void Rays. Obviously, it's going to be... It's either Blink or Dark Templar. This is a good map for Blink.
For Dark Templar Expand, those are really successful. We don't see any, and this, if he is going Dark Templar, this would be a pretty fast Dark Templar.
Yes.
So I don't know that Jacobis, especially since he's expanding, would really be ready for it.
No, I mean, we do not have an eBay. He's just adding on 3 additional barracks. He is going to have...
Moment of truth.
Blink. I actually do really like this map for Blink, because you have that area kind of in between the bases, so you can blink in, blink out, do some damage, do some harass, and like I said, he's going to be really kind of walling off his front, and he's going to kind of be hanging a lot of his units at his front, especially with the Stalker pressure, just kind of poking in and trying to do a little bit of damage.
Yep. Alright, so he's going to force those Marines out of the barracks there. And Marines don't do terribly well against Stalkers. You need a lot of them to be effective. And those Marines are taking quite a bit of damage.
Oh, excellent positioning from the Marines on the high ground, too, to get some additional shots in on those Stalkers. Unfortunately, no hull damage was done, so all that damage is going to regenerate.
Yep, and Blink is just about finished, so we'll probably see more production. In the meantime, Vermillion did get his own expansion up, so he's getting a lot of...
we are going to have DTs. A Dark Shrine has been started. And interestingly enough, no Robo, so he's not going to use an Observer.
Well, you know, it might just be to throw his opponent off. He's not really going to be expecting that. I think once he shows that blink, he wouldn't be expecting to follow up with DT.
That's very true.
We still don't see an E-base, so it could be really...
I mean, he's already going to be super effective with those DTs. Of course, like we said, he does have 2 command centers, well, 2 orbitals, so he is going to have 2 scans. So he's just going to need to position those DTs very well to force scans and then sneak in and do the damage.
Well, you know, and one thing to note, too, is so, while there's only been, 2 units lost from Jacobis, a lot of those Marines are quite damaged.
They're very low.
His army isn't very strong here.
This is actually...
And none of the Stalkers are damaged.
He may just try and do a Stalker DT push on the front. He may not even be trying to just kill him with the DTs and harass. He might just push in with all of this, which would be a really interesting build that I've never seen before.
Well, and let's see here. So we've got 30, 16, so we don't have much energy on those orbital commands. So, what would be really nice if Vermillion just waits for this next mule to be dropped here at the natural. There's going to be no energy.
The first DT is coming in, so he's just sending 1 right now. But he's going to have to waste a scan on that, and those Marines are so low. The DT is just kind of standing in with the Marines. He's not doing anything. I think he's stuck, so he had to kill 1 Marine to get through. And there we go. Killing that Marine triggered it, and he wasn't able to get in, but he's going to use the Stalkers to blink in with the DT. He's actually using the DT for sight as opposed to his Observer. That was genius.
Yeah, that was nice, and we still don't have an eBay anywhere down. We have 1 can that just came up, but he's quite a ways off.
Oh no, the eBay is completed. He is getting towers already. So he must have got that eBay just for upgrades. But the Stalkers are in the base doing a ton of damage, though this is a relatively small army compared to the Bio Ball, so he is going to need to get out soon, and the Blink gets him out and safe. So he's done an excellent job getting in, harassing, taking off add-ons to the barracks. He stopped the reactor on the factory, so he delayed medevacs. So he's done a very good job just keeping the Terran player busy while he's teching
even
up.
Though his expansion was quite a while behind, he's actually ahead in worker count, 45 to 41, so his income's doing quite nicely. Looks like we're going to have another engagement up here at the top. And, I think that this is really going to keep Jacobis a little bit paranoid, and his units are so low in health. He's got a lot of red Marines, a couple orange, a lot of yellow.
Yeah, the Marines are very, very weak. I mean, does he even have stim yet? He does have stim, but he can't stim.
Which is part of why some of them are yellow is because of a stim with that. So as soon as those medevacs pop, whenever
they have a lot of work to do.
They're going to be low on energy quite quickly there.
Excellent blink-ins, getting in, getting some damage done, getting out, really just keep being super, and he gets away.
So I like this one little probe over here that just keeps on hinging all of these gold minerals with long-distance mining.
If you did notice, Vermillion does have his 2 forges kind of hidden, so they can't get they could get sniped if there's any sort of drops, but it doesn't look like Jacobis is even dropping yet. But they are in a weird position, so he's only going to see that if he flies a medevac over them. So we do have a burning supply depot that he is going to try and repair, and he will save it. But he just blinks in and kills it anyways.
Alright, so our first medevacs are coming over here, so we'll see how low they get on their energy while they have to heal up all these precious damaged Marines.
Those medevacs are actually going to make a huge difference, because, granted, they'll need to regenerate energy, but they're going to be able to heal these units up so they're not nearly as weak. And another supply depot is burning down and and it is going to go down. We do have a drop coming in, though.
Yep, small little drop over here.
This should do a lot of damage.
There's not really anything there to defend.
Couple zealots back.
Zealots in the nick of time.
It would be.
You did see those Marines get picked up there, so.
But the zealots are just kind of standing there. He's busy microing. No, he's not busy microing the front. Those zealots are standing there. Those probes are going down pretty quickly to those Marines. I mean, he's only taken 4 so far, so maybe it's not as effective as I thought it was.
Just force a few more zealots. you know, I think at this point it might have been a good idea for
he
some
got
more
9.
being by
We do have an
there.
engagement. Oh, nope. Blink in, blink out.
Well, it's really doing a good job of keeping the medevac energy low.
Absolutely. I mean, just poking in, forcing stims, forcing, just hitting a couple of units with some damage, and he is taking a 3rd.
Alright, if we look at upgrades, we've got +1 weapons for our Terran, but we've got +1 armor and weapons for our Toss. And unfortunately, Toss...
1-1 did just complete for the Terran as you were saying that.
Alright. You know, but I think we've already got 2-2 started for, you know, our Toss. So just because of, you know, being able to turn on upgrades, he's going to be quite behind on upgrades realistically.
He is taking his 3rd at the gold, which might be kind of hard to hold with Blink in. If Vermillion gets an Observer up, which I still don't think he even has a Robo up, but if he was to get some vision up on the high ground, he would be able to blink in and do a ton of damage with those units out of position.
Yeah, he could definitely do a nice job. I think he's planning to diversify his tech, which it looks like he is planning. He's getting Psystorm. I think that's going to be a great idea here with this bio-heavy composition.
He's going to be able to feed back the medevacs. He's going to be able to Psystorm just big clumps of bio units. He is currently at 6 High Templar already, so we should see some more coming soon.
Well, and it's really going to punish, you know, all of that early and unnecessary simming, realistically. It looks like we did have a little warp in here. This pylon was not ever cleared out, and he dropped, so I don't know how many SUVs died there. I don't think it was too many. Most of the army was there, but...
couple more. Not a...
It is keeping Jacobis really just sort of, you know, distracted, I think.
It's keeping him at home.
He wants to do.
I mean, he's not getting out of any sort of push, and...
a little bit of sniping.
We do have
2 medevacs there.
We have a 4th being taken by Vermillion down in the bottom island section. I mean, he's doing some long-distance mining there, but that Nexus is about to complete. So.
Well, he is up to 80 harvesters versus 51, so his income is quite substantial.
But we do have the mules on the gold.
Isn't as high.
We have the mules on the gold. Are super effective. And that actually puts them about at even income right now. We also have a sensor tower just being started now, but the Stalkers are going to try and get in and do some damage while catching the Terran army out of position. So that Stalker count is getting smaller and smaller every time there's an engagement, though. But there are a ton of High Templar and Zealots with charge back at the base for Vermillion. So it sounds like he's basically just kind of getting a tech switch that Jacobis is not going to expect.
Get off all of the storms, maybe feed back some of the bags, and then probably morph those into Archons.
And here's the engagement. He is taking 2 ends, but he actually pulled the Zealots out as they were engaging. But an excellent storm, but he's running his Zealots all the way through the storm. So that he did a lot of damage to his own Zealots there. His Zealot count is down, and he actually lost a lot in that engagement.
Yeah, I think it was a good idea, but yeah, I think he definitely needs to be careful about where he was running with his Zealots. And I think his storms, maybe I don't know. I'm not getting any lag, but I wonder if he lagged a little bit when he tried to land his storms. Mm-hmm. He still has quite a bit of energy on those Templars as well.
He does. I mean, there's a good amount left, so he's got plenty of storms left. Do we have any ghosts on the map yet?
We do. We have 6. Well, we have 6 ghosts in production.
In production,
so
okay.
They're pretty close to being there.
So we are looking at 3 base on 4 base. Supply is currently even at the moment, and we have a giant drop coming into the main of Vermillion right now. He's going to try a 2 frontal attack, and Vermillion is going to be terribly out of position. This drop is going to be able to do so much damage. Vermillion is working his way back, but he's got the first set of units to deal with, and so many gateways are falling. He's already lost 2, 3, tons of pylons. This is going to do a ton of damage. He needs to get some excellent storms and some very good Zealot engagements to be able to make this worth it.
Well, unfortunately, he was sort of top volume working so far, so he doesn't have a huge amount. It's like he was able to feed back some medevacs, get some things done, but... Alright, so let's look and see. So we've got our ghosts are still alive, we've got 10 High Templars, we've got a handful of Archons and some Zealots. I don't know, I mean, as far as unit composition, I don't really know that either player is super far ahead here. Oh, and then we had just a massive warp in of 20 stalkers.
Yes,
So.
the Protoss player is ahead by almost 40 supply, 30 supply now. So
he's also at 3-3 compared to the Terran's 2-2. 3-3 is just now starting. It's about
Terran.
fifth of the way, so it's got quite a ways to go.
It's definitely got some time to go. More ghosts are coming out.
Ghosts on the field. So, I mean, he could do, if he lands a couple of really nice EMPs,
it can absolutely change the
definitely
battle.
Put him back in the game.
So it looks like an engagement should be coming soon. And feedbacks on the medevacs. He probably wants to get some feedbacks on the ghost, and there we go. There's a feedback on the ghost. No EMPs that I have seen, or at least they were on units that that are already dead.
I think it possibly got some stalkers, but it didn't get those critical Archons, which is really what they wanted.
Absolutely, and he may have gotten the High Templars, but they're already dead. So just a couple ghosts left. It looks like this is going to be it for Jacobis. It looks like Vermillion is just going to keep walking in and doing a ton of damage. He's going to kill as many of those SCVs at that gold as he can. But he's running them away over to his 4th and 5th bases. No, wait, did I count right? Oh no, over to his 4th base. No, 4th and 5th. I'm sorry, Jesus. He's really going to need to pull out a couple miracles to pull this back. He needs some excellent drops.
Just
but
the number of supply, it's 171 to 77. So, I don't really know that Jacobis can come back from this.
No, I don't think so. I think he's really just trying to make what he can of this.
I mean, he did get the ghost in a timely fashion, but yeah, I think his EMPs just didn't really land where they needed to be. If he would have had Cloak, I think that would have saved his ghost a little bit as well. I don't know if he had Cloak or not, but I think all of his ghosts were just sort of out in the open. They're naked, unfortunately.
Vermillion is going with the same sort of style where he has his Stalkers out on the map doing some damage, and he has a ton of Zealots and High Templar back at his base, just waiting for the next engagement. So I think Jacobis doesn't realize how far behind he actually is.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Because he doesn't, if we look at what he sees, he doesn't see all of these other bases. All he really knows that he has is the main and the natural.
Yeah, exactly.
He might assume that there's other bases, but I don't think he realizes that the entire rest of the map, it's basically split map, and he hasn't fully taken his half of the map yet.
How many High
just
Templar?
the mineral deficit. He's at almost 4K mineral.
That is 16... 24 High Templars.
More on the way.
That is nuts.
That's a lot of Archons. That's a lot of Storms.
Yeah, he's going to need to warp. He's actually going to need to morph them into Archons, because that many High Templar, once the Storms are gone, I mean, granted he can do a ton of damage with the Storms, they're kind of useless.
Well, and he might consider actually sacking some probes. He's got 95 probes at this point in time, and I don't know that it's, I think at some point you can't get too saturated.
Funny thing is, he has no Stalkers to clear up this drop. He feedbacked the medevac, but it wasn't enough to kill it. So this drop is actually going to land into a sea of like 13 gateways. But
well, and he is supply cap, so he
Vermillion's just going to go in, tons of storms. He's storming his own Zealots again, but he did
his own storms. Yeah.
Some...
don't matter though.
No, there's just so many units. Actually, he got almost all of the High Templar, but he does have a couple storms left, so he should be able to clean this up. But and here come the Archons now that they're out of energy.
Is that considered like DM there?
There we go. There's the GG.
So there we go. Lots